it tells us that we got a figure 2 and it shows the graph of y equals x minus 1 over 2x squared. So that's how the curve looks like for values between 0.4 all the way up to 5. So that's just the domain of the graph. Now the question wants us to express this part of the equation as a single fraction. So let's go ahead and do that. When you want to make anything as a single fraction, you must always have a common denominator. So in this case, we got 2x squared. So the first one should be over 2x squared. And to do that, you just multiply up and down by 2x squared. So it'll look like this. So you're going to have it basically x times 2x squared over 2x squared minus, and then just copy the other one, 1 over 2x squared. And well, x times 2x squared is 2x cubed. So your final answer should be 2x cubed, and then combine it, minus 1, all over the common denominator. So that's it, that's our A done. Now, moving on to the second part of A, it says hence. And now when you see the word hence, it literally means carry on from the previous question in some way. Hence, use the graph to obtain to one significant figure and estimate for the value of the cube root of 0.5. Now, this is not very clear what it's trying to say, but what it really means is that when you got a graph, every time you cross the x-axis, that's the value they want. So actually, this value right here is basically the cube root of 0.5. Also, they say, yeah? So what we're going to do, we're just going to let x equal that value, because that's where it's at. So just say, let x equal the cube root of 0.5. And let's go ahead and make this value, let's go ahead and rearrange this and make some sort of equivalent expression to what we saw up there, yeah? Because remember, this is actually on the curve, so we can kind of link it to that. So just tidying this up, I'm going to cube this side. So we're going to have x cubed equals 0.5. And I'm going to go ahead and try and make it look like 2x cubed, because now you can double it. You're going to have, therefore, 2x cubed equals 1. Now the reason why we're doing this is because you want to make this equation equal to, well, y. So just understand the logic, we have y equals 2x cubed minus 1 over 2x squared. Now if you look at it carefully, if I make this, basically, if I move the 1 across, we're going to have 2x cubed minus 1 equals 0. Now this is telling us literally that this equation is now 0. So all of this is basically 0. So now we have y equals 0. And this matches up perfectly because it actually lines up with the y-axis. So when x equals this quantity, y equals 0. And that's really it. So this is kind of literally what we want. And that's really it, guys. You just kind of need to show that you can kind of prove this using a graph. And now, finally, just to get the answer, just pop the cube root of 0.5 in your calculator, and you should get an answer of 0.8. And that's literally all they want. It says, by drawing a suitable straight line on the grid, so they've actually gave us a hint what straight line we're going to draw, find and estimate the two significant figures for the root of the following equation for the same interval. Now, at first glance, we need to firstly recognize, like, does this look familiar? And if you look back at the earlier question, you can say yes. It kind of looks like, you know, y equals x minus 1 over 2x squared. We just kind of need to show it. So let's go ahead and try and reproduce this bit over here. So we'll try and factorize it in. So what we can do, we can probably move 2x and 1 over 2x squared to the other side. So let's just take our time here, guys. So we're going to have 4 equals 2x minus 1 over 2x squared. And just to be a little cheeky here, guys, we can just, because we just want an x, let's just subtract an x across to the left hand side. So now we got 4 minus x equals x minus 1 over 2x squared. And therefore, we can see that all of that expression equals y. So therefore, the right hand side equals y. So this is essentially y equals 4 minus x. And that is literally our straight line we need to plug in. So let's go ahead and just draw a straight line on this graph now. So we've got y equals 4 minus x. Again, if you're not too confident of drawing straight lines, it always helps to just draw like an xy grid. Now, let's just pick a value, yeah? Let's just say when x is 0, you plug in 0, you got 4 minus 0 is 4. And I'll just say pick another one. Let's just say when x is 4. When x is 4, 4 to get 4 is 0. So these are your corners. So you can say your first pair of corners is 0, 4 occurs here. So you've got 0, 4. And conveniently, the second one, when x is 4, y is 0. So this is the other coordinate. So you want to draw a nice straight line. I'm not going to lie, it's going to be hard, so I'm going to draw a dotted line. I know it's going to cut like that. So you can kind of see that the question asked again, just going back to the question, it says find an estimate to two sine figures for the root. When they say the root, it means when does it cross the curve? Well, it crosses around here. So we can see that this is literally crossing around when x is 2. So that's our solution. So x is basically 2. But let's just say 2.0 because I think they said, was it two sine figures? Yep, so 2.0. So if you wrote 2.0, you should get a mark. And that's it.